Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Hollow Knight. In the last part, we reached 112%, which is the maximum completion percentage. It may seem a bit weird that you can get the maximum while there's still things to be done in the game, including some rather large things like what we're going to be doing today, Pantheon 5, but I think it's rather a nice bit of consideration for the player, for the fact that some of the challenges in the game are just not for everyone, and don't mean to sound elitist or anything like that, it's just that Pantheon 5 is a boss rush of pretty much every boss in the game, and completing it can be very grindy when you're first getting used to it, and you have to go all the way back to the beginning if you die at any stage. But it is in the game, so of course I'm going to try to show it off in this Let's Play. First though, I just want to take a look in the Hall of Gods. So you can see that the end bosses of the previous Pantheons are now filled in their places in the rightmost column. There are still 3 gaps, so that's a little bit of a hint that Pantheon 5 will include more unique bosses and not just its final boss. Also, the statues for the Pantheon final bosses will now appear. There's Oro and Mato, Shio, Sly, and Pure Vessel, so could fight any of them for practice. By the way, the statues appear when you reach the boss in the Pantheon, not when you defeat it. So the first time you're going through a Pantheon, you will probably get to the new boss, lose against it because you've never seen it before, and then you have a chance to practice it before going back in. I think that's a really good system. There's a bench here, so let's have a look at our charm build. The first time I beat Pantheon 5, I had a similar charm build, but instead of Grub Song and Nailmaster's Glory, I used Sharp Shadow. There's several bosses in the Pantheon where this is pretty good, but it's a bit of a crutch charm. I prefer not to use it anymore for things like this. Those 2 slots just can be taken up with more useful charms. But Shaman Stone, Strength and Quick Slash are just really good for dealing damage and making things go more quickly. So, Pantheon of Hallownest. Seek the kingdom's forgotten light. We have a few surprises in here, not just the unique bosses. Some of the old bosses have changed a bit, starting with the Vengefly King. We're now fighting 2 of them at once, which is very silly. Looks like I got one of them down. That's a good way to deal damage. When he does the shriek, get under him and do your own shriek. But he wasn't quite positioned right that time. Then it's just a matter of patience. Next, Grossmother. And this is a pattern we'll see quite a bit. Several of the bosses have changed their arenas to have little platforms with gaps in between rather than a single big platform. Still, she's not very hard. And then some of the bosses don't change at all, like False Knight. By the way, False Knight, like Failed Champion, has... when he's in his stagger, you can Dream Nail the armour to recover health. Not really needed, but it is good to know, especially because you don't gain health by hitting him normally. You do gain soul, you do gain soul from hitting the maggot when it's exposed. Massive Moss Charger, also no changes. There we go, managed to keep up the battering. So it was moving slightly forward as I was doing that, so each stroke hit him. And Hornet. Mischief beyond mischief. We cannot escape thee even in this highest, most distant of pantheons. O wielder of nail, O eater of soul, art thou a messenger of the gods, or something stranger? We will not defy thee. Continue thy combat. We shall be listening closely. She seems to respect us a little bit more now that we've been through the first 4 Pantheons. And you no longer get a break after Hornet. There is, however, still a break after every 5th boss after that. So not just after the ones that were mid-bosses, but also after the ones that were end bosses of each Pantheon. So that's nice. And Gorb also has little platforms. And I shouldn't have done that heal because now I don't have soul to start this fight with a dive. Soul Warrior appears in his upgraded form, like the one in the Elegant Key Room. He spawns... I forget if it's Follies or Mistakes. I think it's Follies. I always mix the two up. And next, Tiso! Nah, just kidding, it's Brooding Mauler. He doesn't have the raised platform in the centre anymore, but that doesn't make much difference. The only thing to remember is when he does that double jump, the second one always lands on Tiso rather than always landing in the middle. Oro, no change. But I will try to put up a better fight this time than I did last time I was against the Nell brothers. Oh. Okay, that was just me being a bit careless. Which is easy to do when you feel that the fight is nearly over. We do get a break after this one. So, if you unlock the lifeblood by doing Pantheon bindings, you get lifeblood in every break room. And I'm going to admit, I did all the bindings before doing Pantheon 5 on my main game file, so this will actually be a first for me if I can do it. I've never beaten Pantheon 5 without having the lifeblood available. I don't think it makes a huge difference, but certainly some. Zero also has the platforms with gaps. I was just going to say it doesn't make a huge difference, and then I fell. Ouch! I'm being incredibly sloppy. Yeah, if I didn't have Grub Song, I'd be down more than half my health. Fortunately, it's Crystal Guardian next, so I could come into this fight with 1 health and I'd be confident. Soul Master, no problem. There we go, managed to damage him once during the dive. If you learn the right timing, you can get him every time, and then the fight becomes even easier. Oblobbles. I think that when they go into the second phase, the one remaining actually recovers some health, so I'm not sure it does all that much good to make sure to damage them both with the Shade Soul, but even if it only does some good, that's still some good. Ooh, I wasn't close enough for that to get the full damage, I think. Oh dear. We're fighting all three of them at once. And this is going terribly. I'm normally not this bad at this. Once one of them goes down though, it's pretty much back to the normal Mantis Lords fight. That is a very fun fight. It's so relentless and fast-paced. But it's really just all about knowing what their attack patterns are and the combinations. Like when all three of them are up and two of them do their clinging to the wall and throwing the discs, you know that the third one is going to drop vertically targeting your position, so just get ready for that. Oh no. Marmu with thorns at the sides of the arena, so if you got here with any lifeblood, have fun saying goodbye to it all. Fluke Mom, as easy as ever. That's nice, I managed to cancel out one of these attacks. Alien? What are you doing here? You're a Pantheon 3 boss, yet you're sneaking in amongst the Pantheon 2 bosses. Wasn't sure I could get out of that. So, the bosses are not necessarily in the same order as before. We'll see why a bit later. Shio, at least, is in his usual place. Fun fight, even if a bit messy. And then we have Hive Knight. I knew he'd be somewhere around, so I thought that Shade Cell would probably hit him. And the Collector has a little surprise for us. Not sure if you saw that, but he now drops Primal Aspids, as well as upgraded versions of the other enemies he dropped before. But of course it's the Primal Aspids that make him particularly infamous in his Pantheon 5 incarnation. However, they are slightly nerfed in terms of health. You can one-shot them with the Pure Nail and Fragile Strength, which you cannot do to the actual monster out in the world. Now let's try to do a bit better against God Tamer, because I've not been doing very well at this fight. Oof. Grim is one of the enemies who has unique Dream Nail dialogue for when you fight him in Godhome. I think the other one is Hornet. Getting a little bit careless, but you know that you can afford to be careless against some bosses when there's going to be a break immediately afterwards. Sleeping God, we can barely feel thy presence amongst the green left behind. What strength thou once possessed fades beyond time and tune. Referring presumably to Un. A couple of odd little intermissions like that. And Galian moved down to Pantheon 2, so his position is now taken by the Watcher Knights. This is another battle where having Shade Cloak makes things a lot easier than they were in the base game, although, of course, you can get Shade Cloak before fighting them in the base game. I just didn't have it when I fought them in this playthrough. So here's Umu. And it's actually slightly different from before. We still have the version where she summons Umas rather than having Quirrell to help us, but also that fog, whatever it is at the bottom, it's not the same as acid, so we cannot... we will be damaged by it even if we have Isma's Tear. And after Umu, it's Hornet. Nah, I'm joking, it's actually Nosk. So I think this is the reason why the bosses were rearranged, because normally... I dashed the wrong way. Normally you fight Nosk in Pantheon 2, so we'd already have fought him. Oof. So this weird Nosk Hornet form is pretty similar to Vengefly King. He does the swoops and you can pogo and retaliate. Down a bit of health, which isn't the best. Sly's up next. So one thing is when he does that dash slash, it's always the same length, so if you get used to where his stopping point will be, you can retaliate. And if you've been counting carefully, that wasn't actually the 10th boss, so we still have to fight the real Hornet. Which I'm doing a terrible job of. Hornet 2 actually has less health in the Pantheon than Hornet 1. Obviously that's meant to be balanced by the fact that she is a bit of a tougher boss, but when you can get her in a corner, she goes down pretty quickly with the aid of Quick Slash. And Enraged Guardian is always easy. Not the best Lost Kin fight I've ever had. And then we have no eyes in this thorny arena, which is really annoying. I like to do this fight just with nail art, so I'm constantly charging and release when I'm close to her. I didn't pull it off earlier, but you can, with nail art you can hit her when she's in the middle of that top thorn. Oh dear, slashed the wrong way. And just be patient and don't try to hit her when she's out of reach. That was risky. If she'd knocked me into the thorn, that would have been 2 damage. And in case you noticed, when she gets lower on health, the ghosts start getting thicker. That was terrible. Fortunately, it's White Defender next, so anything can be forgiven, but I should not have done that badly against Traitor Lord. I really should heal a bit. After all, you really don't want to lose after getting this far in the Pantheon. Oh dear. Now the Pantheon 4 bosses are rearranged a bit as well, in addition to Watcher Knights being moved earlier. Oh, tragedy! This majestic god evades our attunement with such ease. We live only to serve the gods, to seek them out. Why does she frustrate us? How does she hide from us? Does she diminish herself by choice? Referring to, as you can see in the background, the Queen or White Lady. So it's actually Soul Tyrant next, and that's fine. He's not too bad, but you really want to be careful. Which I'm not being. You want to be careful to finish the Soul Tyrant fight at full health. And I need to start following my own advice. Why am I playing like this? This is absurd. Okay, so this is a good attack to heal on. Exactly in the middle of the arena is a safe spot. And I'm going to play it safe now and not try to retaliate against his dives. Just wait for him to stand still, see if he is low or high. It's annoying if he's high, but... try to dodge those orbs and hit him, and you can usually get him down before he does another dive phase. Anyway, next is Markov. And this is the most infamous arena change. He's got no floor. I don't think that hit him. So I was trying to do a dash slash there instead of a great slash. The dash slash has a much bigger hitbox than it looks like, so it's a really good tool for hitting him from a distance. Like that. I was very lucky to get back onto the platform then. That was a foolish... also you can tell when he's about to start a spin attack, and it takes time for his shield to get going, so depending on his position that can be a good time to hit him. When he gets his second shield out, do not heal. Just use all your soul for spells. And the worst thing about Markov is he is followed by Zote, who... you can get used to the Zote fight, but... But this is absolutely a fight where it's easy to take unexpected damage and hard to heal. And they put this right after Flawless Markov. Next, it's Failed Champion, which honestly, it's a blessing, if anything. You only have to survive one phase. And then you can do this alternating attack and dream mail to get right back to full health. And I think maybe that's the reason the Pantheon 4 bosses were rearranged in Pantheon 5. As this little bit of mercy. They certainly knew that Markov Zote would be something players would find ridiculously hard. When he goes down the third time, he won't get up, so you have all the time in the world to get back to full health. And the reason why they felt we needed that breather now? Yes, it is Nightmare King Grim. He is in the Pantheon. Ah, did it again. Got too close to that attack. Still, I'm managing to keep my health up, so... Okay. He actually has less health in the Pantheon than in the real world. I think they felt, given his super boss nature, it would be a bit much to expect players to take him out at full strength. Okay. Last bench, last chance to change your charms. Who's next? Well, there's one old boss we haven't fought yet. And of course there's going to be a new one. Even long departed, we feel the afterglow of the god power that sapped this throne. It lays heavy upon this kingdom. That lingering power alone was beacon enough to draw us to Hallownest. How bright it must have been to mortal bugs stood before it. LA Pure Vessel. Ah! I keep both dashing and shade souling in the wrong direction. Fortunately, you get a full heal after this fight. Yes, it's Radiance. Absolute Radiance. Oh no. No! So, in this phase, you get a brief chance to heal if you have enough soul, so I can heal fully. I think the platform arrangement is different from normal. I'm just not used to this fight, it's been way too long. I knew I was going to be hit by that. Well... I can't believe I did that. So, as you saw, when going into the climb phase, you can heal on the bottom platform, and I was just in so much of a panic mode, I fired off 2 Shade Souls instead of heals, so I could have had 2 extra HP. And that's the God Home ending. Apparently, defeating all the gods transforms us into this weird void creature thing, whatever. I don't know if that ending is canon. It's weird. We'll have to wait for Silksong to come out and see if that offers any new insight. Oh my goodness. I'm shaking. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is only the second time I've beaten P5, and the first time was not only with Lifeblood, but without Grey Prince Zote, because if you don't save Zote in the main game, he won't be in the Pantheon. A little bit of a cheat if you want to make things easier for yourself. So this is, of course, very nearly the end of this Let's Play. I think it's not quite the end. I think it calls for one more episode to wrap things up. And at the end of that episode, I'll give some general thoughts on what I might be doing next. We get this little cutscene for completing the Mr. Mushroom quest. But that will be all for this episode, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.